Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jenny. I am a mama, a writer, a podcast host of Ritual of Wild, as well as a student of somatic therapy. On my channel, I share videos of my journey and what it's like to weave the tapestry of my life through my creative journey, as well as being a student and raising two little ones and being in a partnership that I am very happy to be in. Doesn't mean it's perfect. It does come with its own lessons and lands a lot different when you are in conscious partnership. And so today's video, I wanted to talk about what happens in the journey when you feel like nothing's really happening. In my own personal journey, I have felt like I've been sort of uninspired and not really feeling like I have anything profound to share. And I'm not saying that anything needs to be profound to be shared, but I guess it moved me towards observing my own definition of what creativity is and what it is to be present to life's moments and how I connect with the definitions of which I weave my life through, which has been very interesting and uncomfortable. I wanted to share something profound with you because I know how precious it is to be sitting on the other side of sharing our most precious resource of time. And so when I say I really appreciate you being here, I don't say that lightly, and I really do appreciate you being here. And the truth is, not everything in motherhood, creativity, and life is profound. And I think that's the beauty. And it is a part of the journey, not apart from it. And so it's just really interesting to notice my own inner critic or the stories that I think, the thoughts that I think about when I'm feeling sort of uninspired pop up and notice if they're true or not. And I'm wondering for you if you've ever experienced that where you're feeling like you want to be so intentional with what you're weaving or creating and putting out in the world. And when it doesn't feel like super exciting, do we shelf it and write it off and consider it a waste of time? I think before we even go there, we have to first pause into why it's there and like being okay with boredom, being okay with the spaciousness that that pause can bring. And for me, it feels like, wow, am I addicted to being on the go all the time or feeling like it needs to be busy? Because then my initial thought was like, what's wrong with me? And then after being with that thought and feeling somatically, just noticing what's wise within me and that perhaps my life is moving in a cadence as such where I do need this pause, and I do. And consciously, I wasn't able to carve that out for myself. So it has felt very interesting and really wise and powerful to feel that life just weaved one in, the wisdom of my own body and the intelligence beyond my senses knew that I needed this pause. And what it made me feel too is that nothing needs to be profound to be worthy of your time and attention, that no moment needs to be so numinous for it to be sacred. And maybe that's the secret sauce, that we can remember, literally become a member of this present moment. And I've been in a creative pause for good reason, not inspired exactly, but just redirected because I feel called to be deeply more with what my family is moving through and the invisible threads that are holding us as we journey through our home journey of looking for a new home and selling our home. And these moments are often not post worthy or poetry worthy, but they shape our world behind the scenes of what we're expressing on the surface. And it's really taught me that divinity isn't really concerned with how dazzling or articulate something is, and it doesn't require you to impress or perform. It just asks if you are present to what was true. And if you notice the miracle in the mundane, and miracles too do not need to be profound, perhaps the miracle is our presence. And there's this quote that I love by Price Pritchett, and it goes along the lines of, don't be so distracted by what you're looking for that you fail to notice what you've already found. That really lands for me. Like, if I really sink into that, it's noticing like how many things do you have on the go right now for myself? How many things am I working with right now that's on my plate that I'm being called to deepen in terms of relating with it? Something that I've explored is noticing like where in my life am I in a situationship with any creative endeavor that I've got going on, or even like within the season of life with my kids or my partner, even though I am fully committed to them, but like where in my life can I deepen into any given aspect that I am being called to be more with, like the playfulness that my kids are at right now, being 2 and 4 years old, or like even making more space for date nights in my partnership when we are amid such a busy time for both of us, navigating our work outside of our family life and creating things outside of our work, and then tending our relationship and our babies, and it's all things that require our presence to thrive. And they're these beautiful aspects of our life came together by nature of our present choice to pour love into these things. And I just think that is really powerful to notice with care and attention how actively we participate in the experience of life that we're having, whether it's one that is yielding us something we love, or whether it's one that's yielding us maybe a contracting experience, or one that feels like there's tension, because it isn't in the beauty of it where we find our power, but rather in the noticing of the beauty of it, and the noticing of it where it might feel disharmonious, because once we notice it, we can then do something about it. And so I have noticed where I have chased meaning in like everyday simple things, feeling that they need to be profound, but really it's just what could be more transcendental and illuminating than our full presence. I mean, you can't get that from a pill or from a substance, or a medicine journey is a little bit different. I don't know. I've never been on one, but like what is more radical than giving someone your full care and attention and presence? What is more radical than giving it to yourself? And you know what's so wild is I learned that we think up to 60,000 thoughts a day. So imagine pairing your up to 60,000 thoughts a day with your invisible to-do list, navigating a relationship, working in a full-time job, raising children, creating a business, putting food on the table, getting your kids to their sports, taking care of yourself on top of like the 60 up to 60,000 thoughts a day. I mean, there's so many loops we can get stuck in. And if we're not actually present to what we're thinking about how we're living, then it's really easy to go on autopilot and stay stuck in a cycle that isn't actually fulfilling. If we really pause to take an audit of how we spend our time, might you notice areas, I know for myself, I have, where I have said yes when really I meant no, or when I've said no when really I wanted to say yes. And the thing is if we're not consciously aware of our yeses and nos and how we're making our choices, then it doesn't go nowhere. Our body has to hold that tension, that disconnect. And the more our body has to hold it, the more it will get louder for us to get our attention. And sometimes that loud might look like chronic pain or a calcification of energy that's stuck in a certain part of the body, or maybe staying in a perpetual loop of the very pattern you want to break free from. And so noticing and presence to me is quite profound, and yet it's so simple. Like it's almost a little bit funny how we overthink this. And so, I'm not here to tell you how to fix or how to think, but If you are in a part of your journey, whether you're a mama or an entrepreneur or a student or a creator, an artist, if you're in this place of pause where you feel uninspired, but you can't quite put the pulse on it, if your creativity feels quiet and it's just a little too still, I just invite you to place your hand on your heart and feel the pulse beneath it. Like really pausing into the breath and relaxing your shoulders and feeling that you're here with me, noticing the power of being here and fully present to what is here in front of you. That steady, sacred rhythm doesn't ask for applause, it just asks for your attention. I believe space really is love. And what's interesting about everything I'm moving through right now is that in this pause, I am able to give more of my attention to where it is needed within my family for what we're navigating. And I don't know that I would have consciously, I mean, yes, I would have made an effort to make the pause, but like the part where I'm not feeling inspired, I feel like, as sucky as that feels right now, I also feel like I know myself when I feel fired up about an idea or when I want to reach out to a potential guest for my podcast or when I get so excited about something I'm learning. I mean, it really like it consumes me in a beautiful way where I just want to indulge in learning more and deepening more into that experience. And the fact that I don't feel super inspired right now doesn't feel like what's wrong with me. It just feels like what's wise within me and the frequency through which is swirling around me so that I can feel inspired and just so excited and present to navigating so many emotions and layers that comes with the house journey, like establishing home and moving and selling and buying and all the things. And so I just hope that if you are in that sort of space with your own journey, that you take the time to notice the wisdom beneath it, because consciously we it's not always available to us. We don't always have the space and capacity to notice why something is happening. And to this, I would say, like, we don't always need to expand our capacity. We don't always need to be resilient. We don't always need to be on. We could let things be what they are. And maybe what they are is what exactly where it needs to be for this moment. And so, yeah, I just really hope that this helps somebody. And I really trust divine timing. I really trust that our bodies are so wise and that we are inherently connected to intuition and an energetic frequency through which is really here in service of our thriving in life. And when you are open to that, like learning this through my somatic journey, it's almost as if the world rearranges in your favor. And you might not notice it at first, but that is the most profound yet most simple thing that I can name in this whole part of the journey. And, it's not easy, but it is simple. And that if we really lived our lives through the lens of this degree of presence, which I know is not easy, I know. I mean, it's a forever practice for me. And instead of trying to just think our way through all the time, we might just remember that by being here, by truly being here and having the courage to feel what is, as if, like when you think about a GPS system and you have to name your location for it to inform you the best route to where you want to go. And I feel like life is like that. You have to name your location. You have to be able to locate what is real right now in order to have the fullest power to shift the circumstance. Because if we're not actually aware of what is happening beneath the surface of our expression, what we are rooted to in the way that we express our life, then it's really hard for life to direct us and show us the way to the place that we say we desire or that we want to grow into. And so I think there's real power in naming reality as it is, and then from that place, calibrating to how you might want it to be or how you envision it to be. And I feel like a lot of the world of wellness or toxic spirituality is a lot of like faking it to make it. And maybe that works for some people, but I also believe in the power of being fully present to what is so that you then can connect with what you can do from that place. And I don't believe that conditions need to be exactly a certain way for us to make moves, but I do believe you have to be consciously aware of what is happening and operating beneath the surface of the choices you are making so as to learn what they are rooted in and to learn what weeds are growing in the inner terrain of your mind and your psyche, because those, I believe, are the driving force of our everyday experiences. So one might say that I want to create something profound. Like I said at the start of this video, how I wish I could share something profound every time. And yet, if my belief beneath the surface of that desire is I'm not worthy of it, then it's going to be impossible for the world to show me my value and for me to receive that value and be in reciprocity with life and the way she weaves around us. There's a beautiful quote by Eckhart Tolle that I love, and it goes, "Life is the dancer, and you are the dance." And so it has been my experience and belief that we are the channel through which life courses through. And when we are open to what is available to us in the frequency beyond the thinking mind and this linear plane, there is so much more. And as I said that, this beautiful hummingbird just flew to my window and it distracted me, but it was so beautiful. Life is beautiful. Life is crazy right now. The world is nutty, and perhaps the biggest act of rebellion and revelatory thing we can offer is our full presence. So if there's someone that you were thinking of as you watch this, or maybe perhaps it's yourself, and you can gift yourself that presence truly is the present, the gift through which doors and life opens up to us, then I hope that from this video, you dive into presence a little bit more and notice that it is all profound and not profound at all because it is all so beautiful, even in the chaos. I hope you like this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. And thank you to all my new subscribers and original subscribers for being here. It's really so cool to watch my channel grow, even though it's at a pace that might not be as fast as other channels here. But, it really honors the cadence of my life. And I think that's like one of the most beautiful privileges of expressing your truth is that it will move you and hopefully others as well in a way that feels spacious and more connected with what's available in life. And so, thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a beautiful day.